Hello, my friend, and greetings from Memorial Stadium in Waterloo as Cedar Falls Community Television is excited to provide you with high school athletics. It's sophomore football tonight as the Cedar Falls Tigers will be on the road as they take on the Wallhawks of Waterloo West High School. Mark Simpson with you, along with the man with the name and the knowledge, Jeremiah Longnecker. And well, it's always fun to do these sophomore games. You had a chance to see this sophomore team last week. Quick evaluation of the Tigers.
Big plays. You know, this is a team that did it mostly through the air. I know they want to run the football better, but, yeah, they did it through the air, big plays.
35-10, they defeated Dubuque Senior. You see the scores. We look at the sophomore team's schedule. This is the start of a little bit of a road stretch for the Tigers. Meanwhile, it was Waterloo West in convincing fashion. They had everything going as they pounded rival Waterloo East.
Yeah, so both teams come in excited, 1-0, and couldn't ask for a whole lot more.
And the standings right now, this is on the sophomore level in the Mississippi Valley Conference. You see Cedar Falls in a logjam right now with 1-0 records. And in the Valley Division right now, where Waterloo West is playing, they are also 1-0 on the season, along with Iowa City West.
You know, it's always fun at the sophomore level. I coached sophomore football for 15 years. You just don't have any idea who's going to be what. So it's you know, throw them in a barrel and pluck them out.
There's the head coach for the sophomore team for Cedar Falls, Luke Becker. Jeremiah, you know him much better than I do. He's in his second year. Tell us about Coach Becker.
Yeah, he was head freshman coach before that. Teaches at the junior high. You know, he's just a really fun guy to be around. Loves the game, loves coaching in general. You know, even when he was at junior high, he wanted to do things the Tiger way, and he's big into that. And so he's been a perfect fit at that sophomore level.
His assistants for Coach Becker are former UNI Panther Jay Tepley and Daniel Martinson, who was a good varsity player for the Cedar Falls Tigers.
Yeah, those pictures aren't shown to size, by the way, because Jay Tepley on the left there is a mammoth human being, a former offensive lineman, and had a little bit of a shot at the NFL as well. And it appears as though Daniel Martinson, who played wide receiver for us, D-back, and Tepley are the same size. Trust me, they are not. But, yeah, Daniel, in his third year, really helped me out. His first year as a coach, and then became the defensive coordinator last year.
Well, when you play away from the Unidome, where, of course, Cedar Falls plays, you always wonder about the weather. But we have been blessed with ideal weather conditions here at Memorial Stadium.
Well, and this is a phenomenal place to play. Our kids love playing here. It's a terrific facility all the way around. So, yeah, conditions won't be a factor tonight.
As far as Mississippi Valley Conference outdoor stadiums, I would take Memorial as the second best, besides the Unidome, in the MVC, even over Kingston Stadium.
Oh, without a doubt. And, you know, the MVC schools have largely gone to artificial turf, which, you know, takes away a lot of the factors. But, you know, artificial turf fields can be a little bit different from one another. This is just a really good surface that they have here to play on. It's, you know, just all in all, it's a terrific place to play.
So this is a rivalry game, of course, with the two Metro teams hooking up. We know both teams get fired up for this, and always gets emotional because of, you know, the kids know each other pretty well from other athletics.
Yeah, and I would say even more so than in the past because they do know each other. So there's a lot on the line and bragging rights, and, you know, these kids go off and they'll do this and that together, you know, play basketball together or whatever it happens to be. So, yeah, it means an awful lot.
The Cedar Falls Tigers across the way, Waterloo West here on the near side as we're approaching the start of the game between Waterloo West and Cedar Falls. Waterloo West, they're coached by Eric Harbaugh. Coach Harbaugh is in his fourth year for the Wallhawks. His assistant is Whit Harbert. Coach Harbaugh very helpful in giving us information about his team. Is kind of a new rule here with COVID-19. If you look at midfield right now, they're doing the coin flip, and just one representative per team. Just as I say that, I see three more Waterloo West kids, but they're standing outside
the captains are standing back. Yeah, it's and again, you know, it's one of those things that it's probably the right thing to do in isolation. People could question whether it makes a difference overall or not, whether you do that, but you know, it's not always necessarily about that. It's about appearances, and in this case, it's probably the right thing to do.
There's Derek Woods representing Cedar Falls, and for Waterloo West is Josh Willis.
You got to wear number 17 to be captain, apparently.
Yeah, in the middle of that circle. And it looks like the Tigers won the coin flip. Oh, wait. Now they're about to do the coin flip. And we'll see who will get the ball first. And Waterloo West won the flip. And the referees will tell us what direction.
I believe this is Marvin Spencer's crew.
So the Wahawk sophomore team, which scored 56 points in their season opener, taking on Cedar Falls, which scored 35. You look at the score, you go, wow, it could be a lot of points, but it's usually the defenses that make the difference in these rivalry games.
You know, that Cedar Falls game was actually tight. They were up at half. They scored a touchdown as the first half expired. Came out. Western Dubuque actually came and scored, made it a tight game. Tigers turn it over. Then Cedar Falls was able to turn over Western Dubuque again, go down and score, but still midway late in the third quarter, it was a very, very tight game. So the score is slightly deceptive in that first game. I thought the Tigers got some good minutes. And of course, you'd usually rather have a game that's tight. Your kids learn more in those games, learn more about themselves and how they're going to perform. So I think all in all, it probably worked out well for them.
There's Derek Woods. Just lost the coin flip, so he has to kick off, apparently. So the Tigers kickoff team is out on the field. There's the Wahawks in their black jerseys with the old rose-colored numbers and pants, the white trim around the numbers. Sun is out, peeking through the clouds, and we're just moments away. An earlier start for this sophomore game than usual by about an hour. As the ball is on the tee, and Derek Woods ready to kick off for the Tigers. Both teams 1-0. It's a rivalry game. Sit back and relax here on Cedar Falls Community Television as the sophomore team's ready to entertain us here for the next couple of hours. As Woods being very deliberate, lining that ball up on the tee. Now it's right. Ball spotted at the 40-yard line.
Wind shouldn't be much of a factor. Just flag of the United States barely blowing on top of the school.
Kick to the far side of the field. Ball goes through the hands of Therese Smith and out of bounds. And Waterloo West will have to dig themselves out of a hole. Ball went right through the arms of Therese Smith and rolls out of bounds at the 9-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Waterloo West. Their quarterback is Alex Willis.
Yeah, the only thing that went right there for Smith is the ball went sideways versus backwards, so it still gave him a little bit of room to operate. It's not ideal, but it's better than being inside your 5, I suppose.
Waterloo West last week fell behind 6-0 in the first quarter. They're hoping to set the tone early. Willis working out of the shotgun. It'll be a spread offense by Waterloo West. They'll keep the ball on the ground in a short gain going off the right side of the line of scrimmage. Ball carrier for the Wahawks is Kyle Elliott. And that hole disappeared quickly as the Tigers plugged that up and brought him down. Tackle made on the play by Cedar Falls' Jake Peters. Big kid, 6'2", 245.
Yeah,
and I was impressed by the
freshman.
The size of the Cedar Falls team. Yep, Jake Peters, a freshman along with Ty Koltoff, 2 ninth graders called up to the sophomore squad. 2nd down and 9, a gain of just 1. Looking to his left, a little slant in, pass is complete, short of the first down, right about the 16. Making the catch is Josh Willis. It'll be a 3rd down and 3 coming up.
Simple pitch and catch. Go out there, you divide the field. Had one-on-one coverage on that side. Backer wasn't able to get underneath that slant route, so it made for a pretty easy throw for Alex Willis. to Josh Willis. But they've done that a couple times.
That's my assumption. That they are related. Third down, 3 yards coming up.
See if we get the same thing. One-on-one coverage out here.
Little pressure. They throw it out to the flat, making the catch. Good cutback to get the first down, and more is Elliott, and he'll take it all the way past the 30 up to the 33.
Yeah, just a really well-conceived screen that time. They show the same set. They put trips to the short side, isolate the single receiver out here, but everybody out there, and just enough of a delay. Really well set up. You watch those linemen, they punch, and then they go. Guard and center out front. Back makes a really nice move. Big play.
Kyle Elliott with the first down catch. Ball spotted now at the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up here for the Wahawks. Pick up the first down of the game. They'll go with Kyle Elliott, this time trying to run left, and he's going to be brought down as Peters will tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, a couple of big plays already for Peters. And that TFL, that tackle for loss, brings up a 2nd and 13. This isn't necessarily where you ever want to be.
So the Wahawks facing a 2nd down and long. What's the philosophy? You want to get like about 6-7 yards out of play?
That was always my philosophy. You know, you want to get a chunk back, put yourself in a good position. You can still run a draw. You can run your screen.
They're going to keep it on the ground, and Elliott dives forward close to the original line of scrimmage, bring up 3rd down and long for Waterloo West.
Well, most teams have a lot more 3rd and 10 plays than they have 3rd and 13. You know, you get into that double digit, 11, 12, 13. You just don't have a lot of plays in the playbook. So you try to play it safe, maybe punt it away, possibly hit one. You just don't want to make an error at this point in time where you turn it over.
We've got a timeout on the field taken by, is it Waterloo West or an official's timeout? I'm not sure if we had something with the scoreboard.
Yeah. It does appear as though they're looking up here at the scoreboard. Yeah, they're getting the Waterloo West staff to communicate with people up here.
All right. Well, the Cedar Falls defense, let's set them quickly. The defensive ends of Noah Thayer, Shea Buskel, tackles Andrew Langner, Jake Peters, linebackers Max Blake, Gerald Norton, Ryan Bowling, cornerbacks Derek Wood, Sam Smith, safety Christian Barney, and the free safety is Miles Mounts. So it's 3rd down and 10 coming up for the Wahawks. 7:01 remaining here in the first quarter.
Langner had a really nice game across the front last week. Sam Smith from his cornerback position was very strong. And Miles Mounts he's one of those guys in the past you call a headhunter. You can't call him that any longer. It has a very negative connotation in today's game of football, but he's a guy that really likes to hit you.
So the officials ran across and explained to the Cedar Falls sidelines what's going on here. Now we're ready to resume play on the 3rd down and long. Willis roll out to the right, throws it to the sidelines, but overthrows the intended receiver. Incomplete. He was trying to find Jonathan Cook. Coverage on the play by Christian Barney for Cedar Falls.
Yeah, you had Cook. Just he didn't get himself going downfield. It's very difficult to throw as a quarterback when you're running sideline to sideline. Now, if you can turn your body and go north and south, now it's a little bit easier to get something behind that throw. He just wasn't able to do that there.
Correction, that was Derek Woods with the coverage, number 17 for Cedar Falls. 4th down and 10, and the Wahawks will have to punt. Cedar Falls, 1 man back, standing at his own 35-yard line. It's a low-line drive kick, and it takes a bounce, and Mounts fumbles it. Ball still loose, and it looks like Waterloo West has recovered right about the 36-yard line. Now, Mounts coming up on the football. It short-hopped him, and that's when the problems began. Now we go back to the 41-yard line of Waterloo West. A penalty flag is down.
I was about ready to say Mounts doesn't know what a fair catch is. The guy plays with no concern back there. This time, this aggressive play ends up costing him.
So the first turnover of the game is against Cedar Falls, and the Wahawks hold on to the football. Now at the 36-yard line. 2 wideouts to either side, looking left, throwing across the field. Receiver open, heading up the field, putting his head down and barreling his way down to the 15-yard line is Josh Willis.
Well, that's a simply conceived but really well done play. They simply run the inside receiver off to hold the linebacker and throw the hitch pattern over the top. Corner was bailing out of there, seeing the second receiver go vertical or down the field. Really created some space.
So the fumbled punt and now the long pass. We go from the 36 down to the 16, a pickup of 20. Now give it to Elliott. Elliott, gaping hole as he'll take it up the field up to 8. Pocket closed really quickly at the end, but still a big gain for the Wahawks on first down. We're going to see a 9-yard pickup by Kyle Elliott. And that offensive line, they give up some size to the bigger Cedar Falls squad, but that was a nice hole for Kyle Elliott to move through.
Yeah, just a simple inside zone play. I'm not even sure it was a read. Willis didn't carry out any sort of fake. It leads me to believe that it was a give the whole way, just like this.
2nd and 1. I'm not sure if Elliott picked up the first down as the Tigers.
I think he lost one on the play, Mark. They're going to say a full yard on the loss. There's Langner in on the play. Peters there as well.
Andrew Langner, Jake Peters, the defensive tackles with a good surge inside. Now look, it's 3rd and 3 inside the 10. Waterloo West trying to take advantage of the turnover on that fumble. Quarterback sneak, and it's Alex Willis.
Well, I love that play. You know, not as a Tiger fan, but I love the play that they just called there. You know, this is a spread team. You're not expecting them to come up and hit that. And I think that's one of the things that teams that go entirely spread miss is that threat of a quarterback sneak. You don't have to defend both A gaps just outside of the center. So terrific play choice.
And that's enough for the first down. And the Wahawks 1st and goal. Drive started at the 36-yard line after the fumbled punt. 5:04 to go here in this first quarter. No score. Waterloo West, though, knocking on the door. Kyle Elliott remains the lone back. 2 wideouts to either side. And Elliott off the right side of the line of scrimmage, tripped up. And again, wow, Jake Peters along with Andrew Langner. They've been incredibly active here in this first quarter.
Yeah, Peters has a game's worth of tackles already. You know, you get those D tackles, they're not expected to make play. They're space occupiers. They're supposed to eat up guys, not plays and tackles. He's got at least 4 tackles already.
Jake Peters, 6'2", 245, kind of a man-child, and he's playing well right now in the defensive front.
Father Corey used to be the defensive line coach for Cedar Falls.
Ball goes back to the 9-yard line. Willis out of the gun, looking left. Throws a slant in, the ball deflected. The Tigers.
Oh, that's about possession.
Okay, they knocked
say incomplete.
They knocked the ball loose. The Tigers went after it, but they're going to say incomplete.
Yeah. It certainly didn't seem as though, at least live, that he had the ball long enough. Good release off the line of scrimmage. Now, that ball was loose the whole way.
3rd and goal at the 9-yard line. Waterloo West has had the ball this entire quarter so far. They got the opening kickoff, picked up a first down, and then punted. Cedar Falls turned it over on the punt return. Now Waterloo West facing a 3rd and goal. Just say right outside the 8-yard line.
It's a tough situation. Ground's more difficult to cover. The passing game isn't as open. You really are throwing it short, or you're going to throw it deep to the corners.
Alex Willis fakes it to Elliott, will keep it himself, has a gap, and he will go in standing for the touchdown.
So they run that zone several times. This time they let it collapse, and he just goes off that left side. So a really brilliant play call. You can see they were playing with 2 downs there. They don't get the touchdown. You're looking for, I think that we had a different quarterback in there. Was that Dylan Lang?
Oh, that was not Alex Willis.
15 and 16 or...
They're going to try for 2 on the conversion, and this is Alex Willis keeping the ball, stopped short. They get the touchdown.
It's Lang.
So it's 6-0.
15 and they're a quarterback, not 16. Just on that play.
For all the fans out there tonight,
Mark, this isn't the first time we've had difficult time with
in the bleachers,
sophomore game with the numbers.
With these numbers, difficult to discern. The old rows on the black can be hard to see, and the numbers are very large.
Well, I was told the quarterback was 16, Alex Willis. So I'm going to go with that until I hear otherwise. So it's
Waterloo West. If we had a Wildcat package of some sort, or just a different package for Lang.
Oh, yeah, Dylan Lang. All right, so Dylan Lang with that last run. Okay, I'm looking at the numbers they're giving me. All right. Coach Becker and the Cedar Falls Tigers, how do they respond now after giving up a touchdown on a 36-yard drive after the turnover? On the fumbled punt.
They got the fumbled punt, but the Wahawks did a good job of bailing themselves out on that drive in total. Get the screenplay that went for a bunch. Conversion on 3rd and 8 on the goal. I mean, got to give them credit. They made some plays when they needed to be made.
Ready to kick off are the Wahawks. The ball at the 40-yard line.
Now, the officials are wearing masks as well, and it just complicates things with whistles and hats.
Andrew Klein kicking off a line drive taken at about the 13-yard line. Coming to the near side.
Got some space.
And this is Mount still on his feet past the 40, 45, and barrels his way down to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, that back wall really did a nice job of engaging you guys. You don't have to hurt people back there. The idea is you engage, give somebody room to run. You'll watch this. Mount sees this, they come outside, and then you see those guys right in front of them. They get enough. They get a piece of them. Really nice job upfield by Langner, staying on his block. Gets the Tigers an extra 5-7 yards.
So now we'll see the offense finally for Cedar Falls. About 8 minutes into the game, Gavin Steggy, sophomore quarterback, out of the shotgun.
All Steggy did was throw for 5 touchdowns last week in his first start.
And the Tigers get a good gap off the right side of the line of scrimmage. Jacob Keeler kind of knifes his way all the way close to the first down marker.
It's like they're going to mark him half-yard short or so. This is something the Tigers really had a hard time getting going last week, was that running game. As I said, they did it through big plays through the air. 5 touchdown passes, a couple of them to Bear, a couple to Woods. They didn't run the ball consistently.
Steggy throws it across the field, unable to bring it in is Dallas Bear. And it's incomplete, 3rd down, less than a yard to go. Dallas Bear, a tall target, 6 feet, 6 inches tall.
Yeah, it's a good throw by Steggy. That ball's outside just where it should be. That's a ball that Dallas has to catch. He knows that.
So 3rd down, less than a yard, and the Tigers will spread the field. They'll run the spread offense, putting his head down and not getting much, but they'll move the sticks, and that's Keeler with the first down run.
Yeah, that was enough. Right there on the stop, Taylor Dean. Good stick by Dean. It's accompanied by Jeremiah Rucker.
Dean, the middle linebacker. You can hear the pop of the pads when they collided. 1st and 10, Tigers now at the 33-yard line of Waterloo West.
So West has changed up what they do on the back end or in the secondary of this defense.
Cross direction play and does not fool. Waterloo West, Jesse Hartley with a tackle in the backfield for the Wallhawks.
Yeah, that's the favorite play out of that set is the counter play. They just didn't get the, you got to block back, and they did not get that happen. There's some gaps in there. You just got to make sure that you block back. Do not let anybody cross your face, and that clearly happened as Hartley comes in with the play.
2nd and 14. Looking left, pump fake. Now they
he's got
throw
it
it
wide
deep.
open.
And making the catch inside the 10 and all the way down to the 1-yard line is Ben Russell. And it's 1st and goal, Cedar Falls.
Yeah, they go the hitch and go, and they got Parker Engstrom, the corner on this, the bite on the pump fake. Now, it's the pump fake that does it. Watch this. It's a terrific pump fake. It's hard to get young sophomore quarterbacks to do that.
1st and goal. They're going to spot the ball at the 2-yard line as Ben Russell, 5'10", 155-pound, 10th grader with the grab, and Cedar Falls close to tying this ball game up. Out of the shotgun, Steggy will give it to Keeler, right side of the line of scrimmage, in for the score. Give him 6, and the Tigers have tied it.
Yeah, they'll go for 1, go for the lead.
So Cedar Falls answers very quickly following the Waterloo West touchdown, and now point after attempt coming up here by Derek Woods.
Woods does a nice job kicking the ball. Had an iffy extra point to start last week, and then the other 4, just what you're looking for. You're not looking to pound extra points. Put it through the uprights.
Good snap, good hold, and it's 7-6. Cedar Falls on top. 2 minutes, 13 seconds remaining here in quarter number 1 at Memorial Stadium.
And Steggy did a nice job of handling that snap. It was low and wobbly. He's able to get it on the tee without a problem. You watch this. Yep, that's the touchdown. Keeler's 1st of the year.
Last week it was all through the air for Cedar Falls, all their scores. Their first touchdown on the road, on the ground. And it's Jacob Keeler, 2-yard run, the extra point, 7-6. It's a drive set up, a short field on the nice return of the kickoff by Miles Mounts. So it's a 43-yard drive for the Tigers.
We'll pay extra special attention this next Wahawk offensive series. Mark, I'm certain it was Alex Willis all the way through that drive. I believe we just saw Dylan Lang came in maybe more of as the run option inside that 10-yard line.
Told you are correct as usual.
Well, I'd like to think so.
Woods with the kick. They go to Therese Smith, who mishandled the opening kickoff. This time he grabs it, gets across the 20 and brought down. Good special teams coverage by Cedar Falls.
I believe that was Kyron Terry on the play, if I'm not mistaken. Number 27, that's correct.
So now Waterloo West down by a point, has the football. Time of possession, big edge for the Wallhawks. That was a quick drive for Cedar Falls.
That's right.
Beautiful afternoon for football here at Memorial Stadium. This is the field, of course, shared by both Waterloo West and Waterloo East schools. Now, they met last week, and on the scoreboard, Waterloo East was the home team. Running, and Elliott, oh man, manhandled in the backfield.
And who was there? Peters again.
Wow, and also
it was not. This time it was. They're
going to say
Noah Thayer.
Noah Thayer really shot the gap. Provided problems right away. Thayer, a 6'1", 220-pound defensive end. Thayer, how come that is? He wears 73 for home games. He's 76 on the road.
Yeah.
I'm not sure on the understanding of that.
Maybe it was the year his parents are born to honor them.
Low snap, throw behind the Smith. In an anxious moment, it went off his arm.
That was dangerous.
Hung in the air with a couple Tiger defensive backs around it. So incomplete, 3rd down and 13, 14 yards coming up for Waterloo West. Let's watch that again.
Those are some of your most anxious moments as a quarterback coach, when you see that ball thrown behind and there's a tip.
Sam Smith, Miles Mounts. Opportunities on that deflection.
Now they were trying to take advantage of the Tigers getting late into position.
Waterloo West back to pass, looking right now left, lobs it down the field. And there's going to be contact early and obvious pass interference.
Certainly was.
Therese Smith was the intended receiver for the Wallhawks.
Well, Smith had beaten the defender pretty badly, so that was we talk about good pass interference penalties at the high school level. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's not a spot foul. So if you're beat, you grab on.
I got to get one of those zebra masks. I like that. I'll watch it again. The lob and ball hangs in the air, unable to pick up the football. An obvious penalty against Cedar Falls Christian Barney.
You can tell Alex Willis has been coached well. You watched him. He knew where he was going pre-snap. He looked the safety off. He went to his right before he came back to the left, and that's exactly what you need when you're running 2 guys down the field, down the middle. Boy, it's just a Tiger gathering in that backfield.
Tigers storm over Kyle Elliott. Got a rough first quarter running the football.
Jordan Jones-Whitaker this time, I believe. It was the first there. It sure was. He just kind of swallowed him up. A number of other Tiger defensive linemen.
And Jordan Jones-Whitaker sits on the scales at 280 pounds and gobbled up. I like that.
Yeah.
Good way to good expression there on the tackle made against Kyle Elliott. 2nd down and 11. Willis looking left. They throw the slant in. Nobody there. Incomplete. Smith.
Yeah, Smith got bumped. Smith got bumped early, and he wasn't able to get his head around and get out of the route. He came back inside, and really Willis had no chance but to throw the ball early. He had guys right in his face. This Tiger defensive line just continues to dominate. It's really kind of impressive that West was able to do what they did offensively in that first drive with, how many Tiger defensive tackles were made by those defensive linemen.
Ben Russell had the coverage. Down to just 22 seconds remaining in this quick moving first quarter. Cedar Falls ahead by 1 point, 7-6. Trips left, one receiver to the bottom of the field, and a timeout taken by Waterloo West.
Timeout, West.
So the Wallhawks facing a 3rd down and 11. I wasn't watching the play clock, and I wonder if perhaps Coach Harbaugh decided to call the timeout instead of picking up a penalty.
Yeah, first half, you don't mind doing that in a 3rd and 11 situation. Second half in the 3rd and 11, I'm not sure that you take that time out there. Maybe you take the penalty. They've already hit a big.
So the break in the action allows us to tell you about some of our great sponsors for our broadcast of this sophomore game today. And we want to thank Witham Auto Center. Everything we do is driven by you, located on South Main Street in Cedar Falls, with additional locations in Waterloo and LaPorte City. Witham Auto Center is a proud supporter of the Cedar Falls Tigers. Find your next vehicle in person or online at withamauto.com. Mark Simpson along with Jeremiah Longnecker. We're at Memorial Stadium. Thank you very much. Cedar Falls Community Television on the road and allowing us to broadcast this game for you. Always fun doing Tiger games from a different venue.
It certainly is. It's fun to see these other up-and-comers. We love watching the Tigers, their sophomore team, and what they're going to bring up. But it's also fun to watch these other teams and teams we're going to see down the road.
3rd down and 11.
There's that screen again.
Willis on the rollout, dumps it out into the flat. Elliott gets past one defender, And then he's tackled from behind by Andrew Langner of Cedar Falls at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, Langner was able to feel that. You know, you tell those offensive linemen, if there's not much resistance, that's when you retreat and start running the other way. And that's exactly what Langner did. Tigers did a much better job of handling the screen this time.
First quarter is over. Cedar Falls leads 7-6. We'll be back with quarter number 2 right after this. This is Tiger football on Cedar Falls Community Television.
Every other row. Please pick up your own correct.
I grew up here in Cedar Falls and experienced Cedar Falls athletics as a student, now as a parent and community member. I have the pleasure in my role here at the Western Home Communities of serving several of my former teachers and administrators. Go Tigers!
What's the easiest way to buy? The Witham Way. And that means offering you the convenience you need when shopping our 3 locations in Waterloo, Cedar Falls, and LaPorte City. These locations mean always having the inventory you want when you want it. That's the Witham Way. And check your mailbox for this month's specials or online at withamauto.com. Witham Auto Centers in Waterloo, Cedar Falls, and LaPorte City.
Everything we do is driven by you.
Seven to 6, Cedar Falls with the lead. As the Wahawks facing a 4th down and about 7. Streaming this game on Cedar Falls Community Television. Big hi to my friend watching in Sioux City, Mark Adkins.
Yeah.
Just text me.
Mark is.
Mark Adkins was the...
Is that the same Mark Adkins I know?
Yeah, the
From Cedar Falls?
former sports information director at Wartburg College for many years.
Hi, Mark.
Now at Morningside. The punt, line drive, takes a Waterloo West bounce. This is Mounts, who fumbled the first time. Now he's running across the field looking for some blockers, still on his feet. Looking like he got
a
face
mask.
As flags fly as he goes out of bounds near midfield in front of the Tigers bench.
Tiger number 15, delay.
Mounts showing some quickness.
Yeah, he's a very good return guy. Again, he takes somebody who wants to be back there.
Watch the face mask.
There's a flag.
Right. Whoop. That's pretty obvious.
Yep, still have the 5 and the 15 in high school, and that's clearly a 15. The incidental was far from it.
So Cedar Falls will get good field position. They scored the first time they touched the football. In fact, that was the only time they've touched the football. They lead 7-6. Waterloo West
Face
had
mask against West High.
you see the face masking penalty. Wahawks got on the board first, and then we believe that was a Dylan Lang with the touchdown run, if I'm correct. Not Alex Willis. Jeremiah? On that
I'd bet on it.
Okay.
Mostly because our crew caught the replay.
Okay.
Certainly not anything I caught live.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it was an 8-yard run. They missed the 2-point conversion. Tigers answered quickly. About a minute and a half later on Jacob Keeler's 2-yard run.
Well, one of the things that Tiger offensive staff's happy about already is the fact they've been able to run the ball a little bit, of course, in a very small sample. Oop.
Way outside.
Oop, just a touch early.
Jesse Hartley.
Flag.
He could have high-fived the quarterback and ran back to the line of scrimmage. So offsides against the Wahawks.
I'll give these guys credit. This is game 2, and this has been a very clean game on both parts. And you see teams in and out of the huddle. There's not chaos surrounding. Sometimes in this sophomore level, you get to game 2 in a game like this, especially when it's a 4 o'clock game, things can get a little tough.
Pitch to the right. There's a flag coming down.
It's going to be a hold on the
Keeler. Pick up enough for the first down, but that's going to come back.
Yeah, that's coming back.
Tiger number 15,
Just as I say, it was a clean game, Mark.
The holding penalty you saw out there on the edge by one of the receivers, it looked like.
Might have been in a couple of spots. Tigers love this little flip play.
Still an aggressive, strong run by Jacob Keeler. Cedar Falls has a really large offensive line. I mean, that's a varsity-size line. Hogan Simmer, 6'2", 280. Ty Koltoff, 6 feet, 210 pounds. The center, John Henry Hines, 6 feet, 280. The right guard, Noah Thayer, 6'1", 220. Right tackle, Jake Peters, 6'2", 245.
Yeah.
That's again,
They
it's the
know where the
size of
buffet is.
any varsity team in the MVC.
Tigers go 3 receivers. They go trips.
Rolling to the left, this is Steggy. Gavin pitches it out deep. A receiver's there and just off the fingertips of Dallas.
That's Woods.
Excuse me, that was Derek Woods.
Yeah, they love that that play where they run the inside or the middle receiver to the corner. There you see Steggy doing a nice job of turning his shoulders upfield now. That's tough when you run that corner route. Now to have to turn around, that's what Woods does. So, yes, should he have caught the ball? Yes, but that's not a position that he normally is going to catch that ball in on that route.
2nd down and 15.
Got a timeout by West again, if I'm not mistaken. No?
Officials time out.
Oh, got to move the ball up.
Put the ball at the 39-yard line. 9:13 to go in the first half. 7-6. Cedar Falls on top. Extra point, the difference in the ball game.
By the way, the holding call on first down was a spot foul. That's the reason why it's 2nd and 15.
Little pitch and
jet sweep.
Josh Hansen. Josh Hansen around the left edge and picks up about 4 yards on the
Josh
play.
Hansen on the carry.
You know, more and more teams are running that. It's a much safer way to run that jet sweep. You just toss it. Quarterbacks love it because that is a forward pass. That goes in the passing yards. Hansen gets a catch. West does a nice job of covering that up. It's hard to run from the middle of the field.
I say 3rd and 12, so it was a gain of 3 yards on the play.
See the Tigers look for something where they are trying to get a portion of it back. We just talked about that in a previous series.
Dallas Bear on the near side had a big performance last week. They go over the middle, and it's caught. A first down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, they fooled everybody, including me. Instead, they said, we're going to get the whole thing this time. Tigers go 4 vertical.
Derek Woods with a big reception on 3rd down and deep. Getting the pump fake. Helps spring the receiver free, and Derek Woods, first down catch. Ball spotted at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, Elliott was in good position there. And Therese Smith was coming over, but as a defensive back in that situation, you got to be really careful.
Then they go with the misdirection and nowhere to go.
Keeler on the carry.
Keeler is wrapped up and will lose yards as Waterloo West gets surge to knock him down back to the 16-yard line. So a loss of 2 yards on the play. 2nd down and 12.
Yeah, initial contact was made by Smith Pompoulos. And Dean was there to help finish him off, and Dean will hit you as well. We've seen already a couple of big hits by him. Number 22, not a particularly big guy, is Taylor Dean.
The trips left. They throw it out into the flat. This is Woods with the catch. Still on his feet and out of bounds around the 7. A late flag comes out right about the 15-yard line. That's usually going to be a hold, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's, you know, the flag was in an unusual spot for a hold, to be honest. The ball's way outside. I'd be a little surprised. Oh, we got a face mask. There we go. That makes a little bit more sense. I think we got an incidental face mask
on Cedar Falls.
Yeah.
Face mask on the Tigers.
So the Tigers hurting themselves with some penalties here as they are in the red zone, and now we're going to spot the ball where at the 14-yard line.
So another spot foul. So it's harmful, but not as.
2nd down and 11. Cedar Falls calls a timeout.
Yeah, you actually like that. You know, you hurting yourself a little bit. Maybe your rhythm isn't there. Let's bring the guys over. You got 3 timeouts first half.
Sponsors for our broadcast include CFU, Cedar Falls Utilities Fiber Home Broadband. CFU has been chosen as the fastest internet service provider in the country, according to PC Mag. Now with 10 gig broadband available citywide, CFU offers outstanding customer service and reliability. Find out more at CFU.net. Cedar Falls spends their first time out of this first half. They lead 7-6. Tigers scored a touchdown, made an extra point. Waterloo West, their touchdown, they went for 2 and came up short. There's Coach Becker talking to his sophomore team. They're just like Waterloo West, 1-0. Cedar Falls opened up with a 35-10 win against Dubuque Senior. A little bit misleading. That was a closer game as Tigers coming up with some big plays in that ball game, especially through the air, as Steggy, 5 touchdown passes.
Yeah, you can already see that Steggy's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the intangibles have already been present. You see him the pump fake. You see him looking off, just like we talked about with Willis. You know, some of those little things that are hard to get sophomore quarterbacks to do, you know, he is doing.
Both quarterbacks have played well here in this first half.
Yeah.
So Steggy
has a strong arm, too. He can make some throws that a lot of sophomores can't make.
Keeler is the back. Pump fake. They're going to throw in the corner, looking for Dallas Bayer, who brings it in. Touchdown. Dallas Bayer and the defensive back both go after it. Bayer takes it away.
Yeah, last week Steggy threw a couple jump balls to Bayer, just weren't high enough. He ended up getting fairly fortunate. This one he puts in a good spot. All right, let 6-6 go up and get it. There's some fighting. Strong hands by Bayer. It's terrific defense that time as well. That's Andrew Klein right there. He had his hand inside, but just Bayer was stronger.
Can't fault the defense.
No.
It's just Dallas Bayer made the play.
You can't teach height. A little saying for years, let tall guys be tall and let fast guys be fast, Mark.
Derek Woods, his extra point is good. 14-6 now. Cedar Falls with 14 unanswered points. And it's Steggy throwing his 6th touchdown pass of the year. He and Dallas Bayer becoming a very strong combination.
Dallas, I think, would say that basketball is his primary sport, does have some offers to go play basketball already just as a sophomore. That summer circuit has been good to him and a number of other CF players as well. Would caution him to make a decision too early on which sport. 6'6" receivers that can run and have strong hands like that, they aren't a dime a dozen.
Dallas Bayer, sophomore, 16 years old, 6'6". I'm assuming he's still growing.
Yeah. You see him there. I don't mean this in a negative way, Dallas or anybody else. That doesn't look like he's shaving, every day. And that's a good sign.
Yeah. Ready to kick off is Woods. Cedar Falls now has an 8-point lead. And the ball will go this time to the middle of the field. And Waterloo West with the return.
This is Elliott. Elliott's one of those guys, you watch him and he doesn't look like a Blazer, and yet he continues to cover ground. I noticed that when he's a couple runs in that first series. He's on you in a hurry. Watch this. And it could be the fact that you wonder if it's a little bit of a long stride, but it's a nice return.
Waterloo West has the ball at their own 34-yard line.
Correction, 34-yard line.
So far, that Cedar Falls defensive front has provided problems for Waterloo West.
Yeah, they really have. Those D tackles. Peter's getting him a little bit of a break. He starts both ways, does the freshman, so he's not in right now.
Alex Willis, quick roll out to the right, throws it, making
Check
the catch. And
Peters is in the game. I was wrong. He wears 55.
Parker Engstrom with the catch, takes a hard hit, slow getting up. Parker Engstrom makes the running catch. Kind of hip check there by Derek Woods.
Yeah, you know, and it's one of those things where Woods does everything by the book. You know, back in the day, you could just unload on somebody, and, you know, I, for one, think it's a great rule change. You know, and it does change the way people play, but it doesn't change the way these kids have played. This is the way they've grown up.
Yeah.
And we knew there was going to be some, you know, there's going to be some growing pains for guys who had played one way. They have to switch, but these guys have been taught to tackle a much safer way and play the game in a much safer way. I know people thought it might be the end of football, but it's not. It seems to be pretty exciting yet, pretty popular.
2nd down and 2. Following that catch by Engstrom, he came out of the field.
Yeah, bad snap.
And that disrupts everything, and the handoff to Elliott is slow, and he's tackled in the backfield. Now it's instead of 2nd and 2, it goes back to 3rd and 4.
Yeah, that's tough. Willis has to reach behind him, and Buskol right there to make the solo.
Shea Buskol, one of the defensive ends for the Tigers. 3rd down and 4. Waterloo West, last week they scored 56 points in their victory against Waterloo East.
You know, this is a reasonably big 3rd down play. West is giving up a couple of straight scores. West coaching staff agrees.
Timeout, West time.
Now we'll use their 2nd timeout as Coach Eric Harbaugh. That's for the TO here with 5:26 to go in the first half. So the Wahawks called the timeout. Yeah, if the Tigers can hold here, get the ball, maybe score, it could really put a lot of pressure on Waterloo West.
Yeah, I agree.
Sponsors for our broadcast include Kimball and Beecher Family Dentistry. Get the smile you've always wanted at any one of their 6 locations, located on Prairie Parkway in Cedar Falls, with additional sites in Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, Marshalltown, and Des Moines. Go to KimballandBeecher.com to schedule your appointment today. We make you smile. We're at Memorial Stadium in Waterloo. Cedar Falls Community Television on the road. Great job by our Cedar Falls Community Television crew. A lot of preparation goes into these broadcasts and providing some great shots of the sophomore game, which has been fun so far. 14-6, Cedar Falls with the lead.
It has. It's a picture-perfect afternoon to play football.
3rd down and 4. And they fake it to Elliott. The quarterback keeps it, and Cedar Falls not surprised and tackled in the backfield is the quarterback Willis. And Cedar Falls Max Blake, it looks like, with the stop.
It was a really nice play by Blake, and he's got to be careful. That's
that could be a penalty there.
Sure
with someone
could.
Taunting.
Yep. I would imagine that somebody will say something to him. It's not an official, but that's not something that's allowed any longer.
Miles Mounts will stand at Cedar Falls 30-yard line. So the Tigers hold on 3rd down and long, and Waterloo West has to punt. It's a low snap. And a good kick by the punter.
That it is.
Mounts will take it back at the 25, up to the 30. Oh, he loses the ball again, and Waterloo West recovers. The ball stripped out of the hands of the returner, Miles Mounts. First time he mishandled it. This time, ball just taken away.
Elliott with a really nice play. That's exactly the way that it's taught. You go over that in practice every single day. You get your hand on that ball and you rip that thing out.
2nd turnover of the game for the Tigers. Miles Mounts beside himself after that turnover. Now the Waterloo West, can they take advantage of the short field with the ball at the 39? 4:30 still to play in the first half.
This is going to be a penalty on West.
Rolling right, they throw it deep down the sidelines and overthrown. Derek Woods with the coverage. The intended receiver was Jonathan Cook.
I thought it was going to be a penalty on West. Outside receiver didn't get set before the man went in motion.
So it's 2nd down and 10. A lot of rollouts with this spread offense for Waterloo West. It's more of timing an offense like this with the receivers and quarterback?
It is, yeah. He had Smith underneath. Had he chosen there, he liked the matchup down the field. And Smith for 5 or 6. You know, that's a philosophical approach. Do you look deep to short or short to deep?
It was Andrew
There's Smith.
Klein, not Jonathan Cook, the receiver in that last play. There's Therese Smith.
Number 5.
3rd down and long.
3rd down, West Hatch.
Christian Barney on the play. Barney had a really strong game last week. First time we've called his name this afternoon. Made some big plays.
Third down. Let's call it a long 8 facing Waterloo West. Trips left. Top of the field is Josh Willis. That's what they look for. And Alex Willis overthrows him. Josh can only get a hand on it.
Yep, that's just a miss. You know, that's one of those that you would, just as a quarterback, you'd love to have back. He's got his receiver wide open there. And, you know, it didn't look like it was a mechanical thing. Stepped into the throw. And just sometimes that happens.
So 4 down territory for Waterloo West. They will go for it.
Yeah, this is right on the edge. I might be inside the 40. This is their plan. But you're going to give the Tigers awfully good field position if you don't pick up 8 here.
4th down and 8. Looking left, now looking right. Willis loads over the middle, wide open. The receiver makes the catch with the 1st down and stopped at the 13-yard line.
Well, that's one of the weaknesses in this Tiger defensive secondary when they're going to play just 3 deep like this, and they're playing pretty tight to the line of scrimmage. Watch them look off and come back. You run both these guys vertical, and the free safety has a really difficult time to get over. Getting over.
Parker Engstrom, who's shaken up a couple plays ago, makes the 1st down catch. Ball spotted at the 13-yard line. Christian Barney with the stop. 1st and 10. So Waterloo West trailing by 8. 3:12 remaining in the 1st half. Alex Willis rolling right. Tries to dump it off and almost picked off.
Almost picked off is right.
Making the catch, that's Taylor Dean.
Gerald Norton was there. Dean does a good job of taking the ball away from Norton. Let's see what this looks like on the replay.
I thought for a moment
did
it went
too.
right into the hands of Norton, number 11 for Cedar Falls. So they lose a couple on the play. 2nd down and 12. You need to get just past the 4-yard line for a 1st down. Low snap, picked up by Willis, throws it on the run into traffic, ball deflected, and a dangerous moment was incomplete. Alex Willis forcing the issue.
Yeah, Barney does a nice job in that spot he's in. It's his job to get out underneath that route, and he does. He was able to play them both. Those 2 receivers are in too close a proximity to one another. And you got to get some separation. When you got one guy in between 2 and he can make play on both, that means your spacing isn't as good as it should be.
Waterloo West recovering a fumble on a punt return. Got a big 3rd down pass to Parker, or 4th down pass to Parker Engstrom, and now face another 3rd down and long.
Don't be surprised if you see him go down the seam again. That's what they're trying to do.
They throw it to Therese Smith, and that's going to be intercepted in the end zone. And coming back the other way is Sam Smith.
Yeah, Smith's got a lot of room here.
He's at the 20, 30, cuts up the field, and he breaks out of a pack. 1 man to beat. Down the sideline, Sam Smith at the 20, and finally brought down at the Waterloo West 10-yard line.
Sam Smith on the interception return.
So it's Alex Willis. No, correction, it was running him down was Andrew Klein, as Sam Smith goes from the end zone all the way to they're going to officially spot it where? The 12-yard line of Waterloo West.
Yeah, throwing into double coverage. That was not the best read on the part of Willis there. He wanted to go there the whole way. He just didn't let the coverage let him get off the route.
Well, credit Andrew Klein, able to chase down Sam Smith. keep him out of the end zone, but 2:05 on the clock. Tigers have 2 timeouts left.
You try to teach your quarterbacks this is about math. It's all about numbers, and you gotta let your mathematical brain take over.
Keeler weaving his way.
He looked like he had some room. Dean right there, make the trip-up tackle.
Takes him to the 5-yard line.
Second down.
Jacob Keeler kind of glides his way. That's a gain of 7. Second down and 3. Tigers with that mammoth offensive line. Center, John Henry Hines, 280.
Yeah, that's some problems with the snap. It's been much better tonight. And
trying to run off the right side, and the Wahawks shoot the gap well and bring down Keeler for a loss on the play. Disrupting things with the Wahawks. It's Jesse Hartley.
Yeah, he's been in a couple plays, has Hartley. He's been active along that defensive front.
Those kids, undersized, but he certainly has the motor.
You know, you can pick up a box score after a game. Look at the tackle chart. If the defensive linemen are making a lot of plays, you know that you've got something going.
This is quarterback Gavin Steggy following his blockers.
I think he fumbled.
Oh, and did he lose the ball?
He did.
There is a penalty flag down around the 9-yard line.
Well, it depends upon whether there's an actual play. I think West came up with the football. It's interesting. There's not a lot of excitement. I'm not sure the play actually ever stood.
Official explaining it. I think.
Nope. Offense. Yeah, that was on the Tigers.
And Waterloo West recovers right at the goal line. So a missed opportunity for Cedar Falls as they turn the ball over for the 3rd time in the game. Watch at the end of the run as Gavin Steggy. How close was he?
Yeah, didn't look like he was in. I didn't see who stripped it. Right there again was Jesse Hartley.
Get a better angle right here. And it looks like he's going in for the score.
That was looked like a little poke. I didn't see the number until he gets up. I think he got, I think whoever poked it out of there is the same player that recovered.
Is that Jesse Hartley? We see him celebrating on the sidelines. Right at the 1-yard line. Waterloo West has the ball. Quarterback sneak. And they'll take the ball up to the 5-yard line with 44 seconds to go. What a huge momentum turn that is.
Sure was. See if Luke Becker decides to use a timeout after second down here. I certainly would.
Drew Langer.
If there's
clock continues to roll, 31 seconds.
Not much difference here.
Well, again, it looked like Steggy was going to go in for the end zone. He lost the ball just outside before breaking the plane, and Waterloo West recovers. And it's still just a 1-possession game right now.
Yeah.
And
Willis had a chance to run some more time off that clock. Well, they're just going to let the clock run out. Surprised didn't use some timeouts there. Just maybe want to get to the locker room and vent some frustration.
Score at halftime.
So our score at halftime in the sophomore game, Cedar Falls leads by a score of 14-6 over Waterloo West here at Memorial Stadium. We'll be back with more right after this. You're watching Tiger Football on Cedar Falls Community Television.
What's the easiest way to buy? The Witham Way. And that means offering you the convenience you need when shopping our 3 locations in Waterloo, Cedar Falls, and LaPorte City. These locations mean always having the inventory you want when you want it. That's the Witham Way. And check your mailbox for this month's specials or online at withamauto.com. Witham Auto Centers in Waterloo, Cedar Falls, and LaPorte City.
Everything we do is driven by
Meet Linda. Linda just bought a smart home hub and was ecstatic to see her grandkids on their weekly chats. However, this grandma spends most of her time troubleshooting across time zones. Fortunately for Linda, technical support is right down the road. With CFU Wi-Fi, our highly trained technician will install a new Wi-Fi system and connect all of her devices. Now, Linda can chat with her family and ask about their week instead of her password. CFU Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi made simple.
Your smile is the most important thing to us. A smile is your greatest accessory. A smile lights up a room. A smile is confidence. It's a symbol of love, a friendly face, happiness, and so much more. Let us keep your smile healthy. Kimball and Beecher Family Dentistry. We'd love to see you smile.
Thanks for watching the Tigers on Cedar Falls Utilities, Channel 15.
The middle, Ostrich is free. Give him 6.
We're thankful for customers who choose CFU Cable TV. It's because of you that we can produce high-quality, local high school sports.
Oh, what a catch. Wow. Trey Campbell.
This year we know it's especially important to have high school games on TV and online. Because of community support, we're able to provide a full slate of high school sports.
Daniel Hutchins in the open. Gets past the defense and he takes it all the way.
So thanks for being a CFU TV customer, and go Tigers!
Halftime, Cedar Falls on top of Waterloo West, 14-6 in this sophomore game. Mark Simpson with you, along with Jeremiah Longnecker. We're at Memorial Stadium for this afternoon's sophomore game between the Tigers and the Wahawks. Both teams coming in 1-0 after winning their season openers. As we look at some of the highlights from what took place in that first half, Waterloo West running that spread offense and getting a good run from Kyle Elliott. Then close to the goal line, they go with quarterback Dylan Lang, replacing Alex Willis, and Lang runs it in from 8 yards out. Tigers get the ensuing kickoff, and look at the return by Miles Mounts. Mounts across the 50, takes the ball all the way to the 45-yard line. Tigers get a big pass play, and it's quarterback Gavin Steggy finding Ben Russell, putting the Tigers down to the 2-yard line. Play later, and it's Jacob Keeler going in. We're tied at 6. Derek Woods' extra point puts the Tigers up 7-6. Later in the second quarter, the Tigers through the air, and it's a long pass completion. Steggy to Derek Woods. And the Tigers go to their tall outside threat, Dallas Bear. Look at that. Great defense, great offense. And Bear able to pull it away. And the Tigers get the extra point, and they lead 14-6. Alex Willis with a long pass to Parker Engstrom. That was on a 4th down play, and then this was a costly mistake by Waterloo West into the end zone. Sam Smith with the pick, and Smith tries to go coast to coast as he takes the ball down the field. One man to beat. It's Klein chasing him, and Klein's hustle pays off for Waterloo West as he brings down Sam Smith. They say at the 12-yard line. And then the Tigers on a heartbreaking play for them. Gavin Steggy looked like he was running the ball into the end zone, had it stripped out of his hands right at the 1-yard line. Waterloo West recovers with under a minute and a half remaining in the first half, and Waterloo West is able to hold Cedar Falls out of the end zone. 14-6, we're at halftime, and we'll return with more from Memorial Stadium after this. This is Tiger Football on Cedar Falls Community Television.
Looking for the absolute best deals in Iowa on new Fords? Witham Ford in Waterloo, Cedar Falls, and LaPorte City has you covered. Looking for the Cedar Valley's largest Ford selection? Witham Ford has you covered. Our 3 locations means we're the Cedar Valley's largest Ford dealer, covering all of your Ford needs for sales, service, and parts. So shop the Ford dealer you can count on. Shop Witham Ford in Waterloo, Cedar Falls, and LaPorte City.
Everything we do is driven by you.
Meet Mike.
Hello.
Mike's the Iron Chef of his house. But instead of seasoning tonight's meal, Mike's getting peppered with demands from his family about their internet connection. Thankfully for Mike, this recipe calls for a dash of support. With CFU Wi-Fi, our highly trained technician will install a new Wi-Fi system and provide Mike's family with tech support 24/7. Now, Mike can focus on tonight's meal without all the extra ingredients. CFU Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi made simple.
Sponsors for our broadcast of the sophomore game include Signs by Tomorrow. More than a custom sign company, Signs by Tomorrow is your advertising solutions resource. At Signs by Tomorrow, they create affordable, high-impact signs and visual messaging solutions. Find them on McLean Drive in Cedar Falls or at signsbytomorrow.com. Mark Simpson with Jeremiah Longnecker. First half, missed opportunities for both teams late. And it's Cedar Falls ahead 14-6 as Cedar Falls will get the ball to begin this second half.
Yeah, both teams committed some big turnovers. West commits the turnover going in on one end that potentially could have tied the game and certainly made it tighter. Tigers ready to go in on the other end. They turn it over. So it's Cedar Falls had a couple more on punt returns.
You know who's going to be praised is Andrew Klein, who was able to run down Sam Smith at the 12-yard line. And look what happened. Waterloo West forces the turnover there near the goal line and able to keep Cedar Falls out of the off the scoreboard.
I couldn't agree more.
Ball put down at the 40. Now, sometimes you just kind of give up. How often do you see that? A hustle play like that comes back to benefit your team.
Well, tomorrow morning on film, you show it 5 times and just make sure that every kid understands what a big deal that is.
So ready the kickoff. This is Dylan Lang who scored the touchdown. It's a short line drive kick. Nobody around the football, though, and it rolls out of play inside the 15. That'll be a penalty against Waterloo West. Our officiating crew with the coordinated look at the mask. I like that.
Marvin's been officiating games forever. But every junior varsity game we ever did in Waterloo, Marvin was there. I've known Marvin for, geez, nearly 30 years now. Good guy.
So Cedar Falls, where they're going to spot the football. Oh, when are they going to have to kick it again? It looks like.
I think the receiving. No, okay. This rule has changed.
Well, the ball is put right back at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, so you can choose to have them re-kick.
Okay.
I'm surprised it's at the 40. No,
yeah, they're going to have to mark that
the
off.
official. Yeah, now the one official is telling now we gotta move back, guys.
Well, I'm told Waterloo West had 12 men on the field, and that's what they're getting penalized for, not the ball being kicked out of bounds.
Well, they had their choice.
So the ball is spotted out the 35-yard line. Dylan Lang will try it again. It's a low line drive kick, a one bounce, and here's Miles Mounts across the 30.
Boy, got a couple of really nice blocks out front.
And all the way up to the 43-yard line. No flags down, and Cedar Falls will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, Roussel and Keeler, both of them did a really nice job of freeing him up. It's hard to get sophomores to block in space like that.
Cedar Falls offense, Gavin Steggy is the quarterback. Running back, Jacob Keeler. The offensive line, the tackles of Hogan Simmer and Jake Peters. The guards, Ty Koltoff, Noah Thayer. John Henry Hines is the center. Josh Hansen, the tight end. Set the wide receivers here in just a bit. Tigers will run the ball, and this is our first look at Shea Buskol carrying the football. He pounds his way for about 4. The receivers for the Tigers, Dallas Bayer, Ben Russell, and Derek Woods.
Yeah, Buskol, more of a traditional fullback type. You can see he's just a downhill sort of kid. Want to get the ball in his hands a little bit.
2nd down and 6. And they'll go with Buskol. Bounces off at the line of scrimmage. Keeps the legs moving. Able to pick up about 1.5 yards on the play.
3rd down, Tigers.
Waterloo West defensively. Their ends are Smith, Pomplus, and Aiden Perez. Tackles, Jesse Hartley, Drew Hunley. Linebackers, Jonathan Cook, Taylor Dean, Jeremiah Rucker. Defensive backs, Therese Smith, Benson Jean, Dylan Lang, and Kyle Elliott. 3rd down, 3 yards coming up for the Cedar Falls Tigers, up by 8. First possession of the second half. Quick pass, and the overthrow. Derek Woods out in the flat, incomplete.
Yeah, it's a ball that Woods got to catch. I mean, it's difficult exposing yourself upfield like that. Reach out, have to put your hands up. I was told the quarterback just throw it right at him. Now he tries to see. That's the thing. He leads him upfield, and it's again should have been caught, but it's a difficult catch, particularly because of the positioning.
So it's 4th down, the ball at midfield. I don't see the punting team in there for Cedar Falls. It appears they are going to go for it. Or will we see a quick kick? Let's see here. Gavin Steggy.
Doesn't look like that depth, but there's no receiver, so.
And Steggy running, picks up the 1st down and then some, all the way to the 38. I thought somebody may have moved early. I don't see a flag down, though.
Yeah, it doesn't. The Tigers went with the empty formation, 3 receivers one way and 2 the other. Yeah, it looked like Buskol.
Cedar Falls got a break there. And it's a 1st down run for Gavin Steggy. Sophomore football here on Cedar Falls Community Television. Glad you could join us. We're at Memorial Stadium. Both teams unbeaten, 1-0. Looking to throw. Steggy pumps it once. Now chased out of the pocket.
Yeah, you got a hold there.
Pass will be incomplete. And 1, 2, 3 flags down on the field. That was easily spotted by the officials.
Yep. Guys up here and running the score clock and so forth. Called it well before everybody else.
So now to be a 1st and 20 coming up for Cedar Falls.
Yeah, well, you protect your quarterback. If that's what it takes, you do that, and then you tee it up again. Or you hike it again, as the case may be. But this one's also I'm going to say not a spot foul.
We're going to move the ball to the 49-yard line.
Now, nobody likes 1st and 20, but this is a big play team. So this bothers this particular squad less than it might others.
Steggy takes the short pass.
Oh, he's got him too. He's
Throws
got him
it
wide
deep.
open down the middle. Oh, he underthrew him.
And it's intercepted. And Waterloo West coming back the other way with the pick. Still with the ball. This is Kyle Elliott, and Elliott takes it all the way to the Tiger 49-yard line. Oh, the pass underthrown. It looked like Carter Sloatman was open.
You know, Elliott is just a football player, isn't he, Mark? You know, you watch him. He's beat here. He's got him. He just maybe just waits a little long and undercuts it. Nice play by Elliott.
So Cedar Falls commits their 4th turnover of the game, and Coach Eric Harbaugh mentioned about Elliott, saying he's incredibly intelligent and athletic. On offense, he has the ability to break any run for a big one. He's a captain of our defense, making calls for us every play. He really feels he has a good future with this Wallhawk football program. I concur.
I agree. He's done some nice things in this game.
Low snap, and it's going to be picked up by the quarterback, who finds a hole. Putting the ball underneath his left arm, still running to the near side. Alex Willis finally whipped down around the 23-yard line.
I believe that's the replacement again. That's Dylan Lang.
It is Lang.
And I meant to ask them to have Lang's number changed at halftime into maybe a single digit so we would know he was in. But this clearly is their guy that they see as more the running threat.
It's not 16, it's 15. And Dylan Lang takes the ball all the way to the 23. It looked like it was going to be disaster with the low snap, and instead he's able to come away with a big run. Again, it's a low snap and picked up by Lang. And Lang sheds a tackler and takes it all the way to the 14-yard line.
Yeah, Lang's just a running back in a quarterback's number.
Number 25, no blocking.
Near the first down marker.
Yeah, got a player down for the Tigers.
Officials timeout.
That's Mounts.
Mounts being looked at. Miles, the free safety for Cedar Falls. A couple back-to-back long runs by Dylan Lang. Lang, who had the only touchdown of the ball game for Waterloo West. That's when they led 6-0. Tigers have scored 14 unanswered points. They have an 8-point lead, but Waterloo West now in position to get right back in this ball game with the ball just inside the 15-yard line. There's concern now if you're Cedar Falls on Miles Mounts. Trainer out there appears to be looking. Is that cramps right there, Jeremiah?
It didn't look like cramps right away, to be honest.
All right, then
and they didn't treat it like it was a cramp.
Well, sponsors for our broadcast include Brad Jacobson, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Brad Jacobson, State Farm is there. Call the original, Jake from State Farm, at 277-4134, or email Jake at brad@bradjacobson.biz. So Miles Mounts walks off the field under his own power. Walks a little bit slowly as he heads towards the Tigers sidelines. Now Cedar Falls trying to slow down this Waterloo West team. Now Dylan Lang has provided a spark at quarterback.
One of the guys that's nice to see out there is trainer Pete Waters.
This is
Waters had some.
Willis back in the game. A little slant in, and it goes for 6. Therese Smith with the catch.
Therese Smith,
And now 14-12.
Well, again, that's that seam in the defense that is that's just part of this Tigers. That's the hole right there. You got the seams, the inside seams, and the Wahawks have exposed it now a couple of times.
So the touchdown, covering 14 yards, and it's Alex Willis finding Therese Smith. And now the try for the two-point conversion and the tie. And a throw wide open and making the grab. And we are tied at 14 apiece right in front of the pylon. And it looks like Josh Willis comes up with that grab.
Yeah, I didn't see the route that he ran. Oh, he just runs a little out route. That's all it is.
Making score, Tigers 14, Hawks
14-14. So Willis to Willis. And now 14-14 is our score with 7:24 remaining here in the third quarter. Let's watch the touchdown. And nice slant in. And Therese Smith with the grab.
Well, the defensive staff is going to say, on those inside receivers like that, you have to get your hands on them. You can't let them get into their route, because if they do, they're on the free safety in no time. And that's the key to this defense. If you don't do that, then this cover three, this single deep safety and the two corners, there's just no way to defend those kinds of routes.
We go back to that momentum-changing play late in the first half when the Tigers, after an interception return, taking the ball down to the Waterloo West 12, and it looked like Gavin Steggy was rushing in for the touchdown. Ball stripped out of his hands right at the 1. And Waterloo West recovers to keep the Tigers out of the end zone. When it looked like Tigers would go up at halftime 21-6. Lang, he's failing it. Long kickoff. And the Tigers with Derek Woods on the return this time. Across the 30. And carrying about 2-3 tackles up to the 31-yard line. A flag is down on the Waterloo West side of the field at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this was. It looked like something away from the football. Christian Barney had engaged, I believe, the kicker.
They're calling a holding, it appears, against Cedar Falls. So Tigers.
There was a flag on the play.
Marked off the yardage of 10 yards, and they'll spot the ball at the 26-yard line. 7:15 to go.
Tigers take over the 26-yard line.
Friday afternoon of football. Sophomore game between Cedar Falls and Waterloo West. Both teams won their season openers last week, trying to go to 2-0. Goes back to pass. Steggy, he's throwing as far as he can and overthrows Derek Woods. He's gotten a couple steps past the defensive back, Smith. You see the arm strength of Gavin Steggy.
Yeah, trying to get it back in one play are the Tigers. They like to throw the ball down the field.
Well, this game means maybe a little bit more for Waterloo West. Now, if they win this game, they'll win the mythical Metro Championship because they beat Waterloo East last week. Back to pass. Steggy throws it and out in the flat and dropped.
Yeah, it's a dangerous throw. It's a very good throw. It's dangerous. Slopeman right there can't hang on. If he does, he's got some room.
So the receivers not quite helping Gavin Steggy in this ball game. There have been some passes, maybe a little bit behind or ahead, but catchable balls that have not been hauled in. 3rd and 10. Deep slant and over the receiver's head and dropped. Boy, that would have been an easy pick for Jeremiah Rocker.
Yeah, that's a lot harder than it looks. And the last thing you're thinking is that ball is going to come right in your lap, and Steggy just tries to drill that in there, and that's a very different play for for a corner.
So Rucker can't bring it in. The Tigers dodge a bullet. Now Cedar Falls will have to punt. Waterloo West should get very good field position out of this. The Lawhawks. Therese Smith back deep to receive. Good snap. End over end kick, and Therese Smith will take it out of bounds. Tripped up the 41. And there's Buskol, correction, with the good special teams play.
Yeah, sure was. It's a good play by Smith. You know, you tell those punt returners, if you don't field that, you watch this, that ball's going to go another 8-10 yards. So you give credit to Smith. Nothing will drive a special teams coach more than watch that ball bounce down the field, get a bad hop. Next thing you know, it's running 20 yards, and it's a really big penalty if you don't field that thing.
6:56 to play here in quarter number 3. Cedar Falls led 14-6 at halftime. Now we're tied 14 apiece. And Alex Willis appears to be the quarterback, 16. They'll hand the ball off, and this is Elliott gets the handoff and immediately goes down.
Yeah,
Andrew Langner, defensive tackle, waiting for him. So Langner, Jake Peters, very active, the defensive front for Cedar Falls. It's a big loss, 2nd down and 15.
Finish the thought from earlier. I was starting to say, if you see a box score and you see a defensive lineman that made a lot of plays, usually you're in really good shape. You look and see your secondary guys that made a lot of tackles, usually it means that you haven't had a very good game.
Obvious passing situation, 2nd down and 15. And they'll throw it, and trying to find Josh Willis. The Tigers break it up with his back turn.
Yeah, Ryan Bowling.
Broken up by number 31, Ryan Bowling.
Hit Bowling right in the small of the back. Watch this. Boink.
Yeah, it's ill-advised. You know, they had that one-on-one matchup earlier, but that's just, again, that's not a very good pre-snap read on the part of Josh Willis there. He'd already plucked out his receiver before he ever saw the defense.
So now it's 3rd down, 16 to go. Clock stopped after that incomplete pass. 6 minutes and 12 seconds remain. Now Alex Willis throwing it deep down the middle, and Therese Smith with the 1st down reception.
It's the same thing.
Oh,
West has found a gap, and they keep on exploiting it.
They needed 16. They got 16 and a half. The little guy making a big play. That's Therese Smith, the slot back, with that 1st down reception.
Yeah, well, the Tigers brought some pressure there, and that left Smith free to run off the line of scrimmage. And now it's just a simple pitch and catch.
Waterloo West, you can see the confidence growing here in this 3rd quarter. Alex Willis, and this is Dylan Lang. Dylan Lang, 15 with the football. They fake it to Elliott. Lang slams away for good yardage on 1st down. Maybe even picked up enough to move the chains.
Certainly looks like it. Yeah, he did. Oh, no, check that. Just a 2nd and short, which is, I always thought better. I'd rather have a 2nd short than a 1st and 10. Gives me a lot of opportunities here. This package they've run with Lang has been extremely effective.
They keep Lang in at quarterback.
They go pistol with the running back directly behind the quarterback.
And this is Elliott running the ball, and grabbing him from behind is Tigers' Max Blake. Another 1st down for Waterloo West.
It's Elliott. Watch this cut he makes here. Right here. This little jump cut outside. Now, it doesn't get much from it, but that's the kind of cut that makes running back so elusive and difficult to bring down.
Sun shining here. This game that about an hour and a half old. So Lang will hand it off, and Elliott goes up the middle to the 30. Under 5 minutes to go here in this 3rd quarter.
With Lang's running success, it slows down that front just a touch.
It's Blake with another tackle for Cedar Falls. 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Now let's go 2nd down 7 coming up here for the Wallhawks.
One of the other things that has happened is with the Wallhawks' success in the seams versus the pass, it's caused the Tigers defense to have to widen a little bit. It's opened up the run game.
Lang now throwing his first pass, and Engstrom with a catch close to the 1st down marker.
Number 3, Sam Smith.
That's just a simple flood route.
But it looked like he was moving backwards where the ball was snapped there.
First down, West Side.
Let's see that one more time, perhaps. Watch the quarterback if we get a chance for a replay on that. Watch the quarterback. Yeah, he was moving back.
He certainly was.
3rd down, is it? Or is it a 1st down?
First,
First.
it's 1st down. They just haven't changed the down marker yet.
Ball at the 22-yard line. Lang fakes it to Elliott, keeping himself, bounces it outside, and finally bulldog to the ground. Aggressive tackle made by Cedar Falls, Kyron Terry.
2nd down, West.
So Waterloo West coming up with a big turnover right before the end of the 1st half. Picking up a touchdown here in this 3rd quarter. Cap off 49-yard drive. Alex Willis hitting Torres Smith 14 yards out. Then Alex Willis finding Josh Willis on a pass for the 2-point conversion. Now the Wallhawks trying to regain the lead. Low snap. Dylan Lang throws it into traffic and almost picked off, and the run the other way would have been the Tigers' Sam Smith for a second.
He was looking at
Pick of the
6
day.
the other way.
Watch this. Smith reads it perfectly. Oh, if he holds on to that, another foot race to the end zone. Smith with a pick, about 2 yards into the end zone, but he returned all the way to the Waterloo West 12 late in that 2nd quarter. It's 4-down territory for Waterloo West with the ball just outside the 20.
I'd be surprised to see anything except the zone read here. Lang's been so effective running it. Yeah. I'm surprised. It's a screen pass. This one's a good one, too.
Elliott at the takes it from the 15 all the way down to the 10. Another 1st down. And the play calling's been very effective for the Wallhawks.
And the thing is, this defensive line for the Tigers have had their way in this game, so they haven't felt a lot of resistance. And so, you know, some of those plays that have been run plays that felt like screen plays to them, and so you don't see that, or you don't feel that, and it's very effective on 3rd down. It's an excellent play call.
Ryan Bowling makes the tackle in the open field. 1st and goal at the 10, and this time the Tigers all over.
Yeah, Terry right there.
Dylan Lang.
With some help from Thayer.
Dylan Lang in the carry. 2nd down, West Side. Take number 27.
Lang.
Terry.
Watch this time. Gets the ball and nowhere to go.
Drew Langer.
Kyron Terry, 5'10", 180-pound linebacker, coming up with the tackle. So the ball goes back to the 12.
Now West appears they're going to let the time run down here. This is an unorthodox play at best.
I call a timeout with just 2 seconds on the play clock.
Timeout, what's that?
So 14-14 our time with 1:49 to go. Let's take a look at the Cedar Falls schedule. Tigers have kind of a stretch of road games here as Cedar Falls opened the season last week with a victory against Dubuque Senior. On the road today at Waterloo West. Watch this. It's at Cedar Rapids Prairie next week. Hopefully they're playing these next 2 opponents. Iowa City Liberty at the Dome, and then at Iowa City High, at Cedar Rapids, Washington, and Linmar.
Yeah, those games against the city schools you mentioned, still in flux. You're not exactly sure.
Because of, I have to go to online learning because of a spike in COVID cases in the Iowa City area. So we cross our fingers that we'll be able to get these games in. We'll take a look at our upcoming events here on Channel 15 as we have time. Next week at Cedar Rapids Prairie. Then we have some volleyball action coming up on the 15th. Cross country. Then more Tiger football on September 18th. And hopefully on the 22nd. So Channel 15 providing you with a lot of high school athletics here over the next few weeks. So it's a 2nd down and goal. Ball back at the 12-yard line for the Wallhawks. And this is Dylan Lang. Kind of a bootleg almost after faking off the handoff.
Yeah, and Noah Backus comes in and makes the play. I believe that might be the first time we've mentioned his name, but he really makes a nice play here. Backus, the first one there, and finished off by Langner.
They lose another yard, so it's 3rd and goal from the 13 for Andrew Langner.
They bring the passer back in. Both of these kids can do both, but primarily their passer back in. It's for the Tigers. They really have to get hands on guys in the seams. You know where it is that they're going. He's looking for Smith.
Alex Willis goes to the end zone. He makes the catch, but out of bounds.
I thought he's waving. I couldn't tell. His hands were a little high. I didn't know if he was waving, saying this is where he caught it, marked him out of bounds.
Watch this again as a pass thrown and coming down. Good call by the official, Josh Willis, the receiver.
Catch.
So now it's 4th and goal from the 13. 58.4 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, this is where you'd like to have that kicker. You don't want to go for this on 4th and 13. You'd rather just kick the 30-yard field goal, get the lead, and put some pressure on the guys in white.
Back to pass. Willis under pressure. They'll throw it down. Caught at the 10. The 5. A good move by Elliott. That cannot get to the end zone as the Tigers keep him out. Down around the 4. Elliott, couple slick moves, but the Tigers gang tackle him inside the 5 and keep Waterloo West out of the end zone.
Yeah, that doesn't score, but that's a really good play call. Woods with the excellent tackle. And then he gets some help. Backus coming in there. Well, why not put it in Elliott's hands? A couple of big guys in front of him. Give him some space.
Bend, but not break. Does the Cedar Falls defense on that possession for Waterloo West. So they get close. Now the Tigers 1st and 10. Ball at their own 4-yard line going into that sun.
Setting up for a pretty exciting 4th quarter.
And quarterback Gavin Steggy following his blockers. Good run. Gets up near the 12-yard line.
Number 52.
And we have a Waterloo West player slow getting up. And we have an official's timeout. They're going to look at the injured player for Waterloo West. You see the run by Gavin Steggy. And the Wahawk player, the trainer coming out now to take a look at him. Sponsors for our broadcast include Western Home Communities, the Cedar Valley's best of the best choice for older adults. Visit the website today to find out about villa lifestyles or independent living apartments, plus all the amenities they include to make life fun and worry-free. WesternHomeCommunities.org.
Smith Pompoulos up and seems to be okay. Might have had the wind knocked out of him.
One of the defensive ends for the Wallhawks. Walks so off the field under his own power. That's a good sign. I believe he just got the air knocked out of him. So it's 2nd down and 2 after that run by Steggy. Steggy will run it again and picks up the 2 yards they needed for a 1st down. That could be the last play of this 3rd quarter.
I would imagine it will be. Though the play clock, no, it will not. There's about half a second more on the game clock than there is the play clock.
Tigers have to get this play off. Cedar Falls breaks from the huddle. Ball at the 15. Cedar Falls going left to right on your screen is roll out to the right. Steggy airs it deep towards one of the west sidelines and knocked down, incomplete.
Yeah, another really good play by Elliott. It's an excellent throw. Good route by Woods on that corner route.
Ball thrown. Watch Woods.
Yep.
Cannot.
Looked like Elliott had overrun it a touch. Then he reaches back and rips that thing out. He's really been good.
5.2 seconds left in the quarter. Second down and 10, Cedar Falls. A rare run as Keeler bangs forward for about a yard, and we've played 3 quarters here at Memorial Stadium. Good one between Cedar Falls and Waterloo West in this sophomore game. We're tied at 14. We'll be back with more after this. You're watching Tiger football on Cedar Falls Community Television.
Looking for the absolute best deals in Iowa on new Fords? Witham Ford in Waterloo, Cedar Falls, and LaPorte City has you covered. Looking for the Cedar Valley's largest Ford selection? Witham Ford has you covered. Our 3 locations means we're the Cedar Valley's largest Ford dealer, covering all of your Ford needs for sales, service, and parts. So shop the Ford dealer you can count on. Shop Witham Ford in Waterloo, Cedar Falls, and LaPorte City.
Everything we do is driven by you.
Meet Mike.
Hello.
Mike's the Iron Chef of his house. But instead of seasoning tonight's meal, Mike's getting peppered with demands from his family about their internet connection. Thankfully for Mike, this recipe calls for a dash of support. With CFU Wi-Fi, our highly trained technician will install a new Wi-Fi system and provide Mike's family with tech support 24/7. Now, Mike can focus on tonight's meal without all the extra ingredients. CFU Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi made simple.
And we're underway here to start the 4th quarter. And on a 3rd and long pass, Kevin Steggy's offering off the hand of Derek Woods. Incomplete. And the punting unit coming back on the field for the Tigers. Looking to throw the right side to his right across the field.
Luke Becker read my mind. Tigers have gone vertical a lot of times up those seams, and then you come back and you run the out route from that underneath receiver. And they had it, just overthrown.
Therese Smith, Kyle Elliott standing at the Cedar Falls 46-yard line. That's not a good kick at all. Low kick.
Got a penalty. I don't think Cedar Falls was set.
And
I think that's what you're going to get.
There is a flag
to
in the play.
the 47-yard line.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd accept this penalty. I think I'd decline it, take the ball at my own 47, and now they did get 37 yards net, but we'll see.
That ball went about 2 yards. Oh, well, that's being generous. About a yard off the ground.
Yes.
So movement against the Tigers, illegal procedure.
Against the Tigers.
Cedar Falls will punt again. Now watch the kick here. There wasn't like a lot of pressure.
No.
Yep, the Tigers weren't set. Now that is Langner, right, with the punter for the Tigers.
55. Yep.
Yes.
Sure is. Just your average defensive lineman / punter combination.
Standing right at the 1 yard line. Now watch that. Moves to his right. This time higher kick. And takes a hop. Therese Smith at the 50. Going down the far sidelines. And good return. And Waterloo West, great field position inside the 30-yard line.
Sure is. You know, Smith made that error on the very first play of the game, and since then he's really made some nice plays on special teams. Again, you watch this. If he doesn't feel this, if he just lets this go, you're talking about 25, 30 yards in field position. You can beat your head in over guys that won't field that. You put them back to return things and they don't do it. Just can drive you crazy.
They put in the passer, Alex Willis, at quarterback to begin this series. 1st and 10. The ball at the 29-yard line of Cedar Falls. Looking left, now looking right. Open receiver. That's Parker Engstrom taking the ball
Pass complete to number 9, Parker
for about
Engstrom.
7-8 yards on 1st down.
Pushed out by number 5, Christian Barney.
That's
Second
the
down,
play
West
everybody
High.
in the world runs. You got a slant on the outside, and you just have that simple out route on the inside. Nicely thrown.
Barney takes him out of bounds. 2nd down and 3. Waterloo West trying to get that Metro Championship after beating Waterloo East last week. Trying to knock off their rival, Cedar Falls. And officials timeout for the ball
There's a
snap.
flag.
And let's see what happened here. Someone lined up offsides. And it looks like
Offsides Tigers.
one of the Tigers lined up offsides.
Walk first down.
Crew's done a good job in this game. All you can do is ask, or what you can ask of his crew, you call the obvious things.
I'm assuming
Let
that's
the players decide.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's on Jordan Jones Whitaker, the way he reacted.
I would think so.
Banging his helmet there after call was made. A short
on the carry.
run.
Taken by Jordan Jones.
It's
And
a
31,
penalty, first
Ryan
down. So
Bowling.
the ball, now it's 2nd down. Now it's called 10 coming up here with 9:06 to go in the ball game. We're tied at 14.
Kyron Terry with the play.
West again in the red zone.
So you really got to pay attention to what the number is at quarterback, because here comes Lang. So far, he's thrown a couple of passes, but more likely run than pass.
Lang fakes it to Elliott. Tries to bounce it outside to the left. He has a hole, and the Tigers bring him down.
Lang and carry.
Good open field tackle by Cedar Falls.
Taken by
Christian Barney.
Lang able to use those wheels to get wide, pick up 4. Now you have a manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 7 or so.
Ball at the 13-yard line. Now they're going to go with Alex Willis at quarterback as Coach Eric Harbaugh shuffling his quarterbacks.
I think the quarterback system is just a simple mindset. How well do the two kids buy in? Do they both think the starter? Are they both team guys? It can work. Doesn't always work, but it certainly can.
Willis throws it out, and Engstrom makes the catch at the 10. It'll be short of the first down. Engstrom has in another reception from his slot back position.
Yeah, Woods does a nice job coming up and stopping him short.
It's a second hard hit that Engstrom's received in this ball game. After a
4th down,
while,
West High.
get hit like that, you start to lose confidence when the ball's in the air. About
A little tentative.
you think twice about catching it, but Engstrom tough so far.
Obviously the biggest play of the game.
4th down and 4. Engstrom in motion to the left, and a flag comes out.
There's a flag.
And do we have motion against? No, it's a legal procedure against the Wahawks.
Yeah, they were going to run that same play. They're going to go trips to the wide side off the motion.
Procedure
Run that
against West High.
motion guy out in the flat. Engstrom appears to be holding his hand. He's shaking his right hand. Yeah, let's see if they're going to run the same thing here.
4th down, 8.
It's exactly what they do. They
Will-
just run him out on the flat. Same play.
Engstrom makes the catch,
Yes.
but he's tackled immediately short of the first down, and Cedar Falls will take over on downs. Ryan Bowling with the tackle on slot back Parker Engstrom, and Cedar Falls takes over on downs.
Well, Josh Hansen does a good job of keeping quarterback in the pocket, and then it's Bowling who chases that thing down. Bowling read that the whole way.
That big play offense for the Tigers has not been here in the second half.
Now this West secondary has really played well.
Gavin Steggy. He's going to run off the direct snap and takes the ball across the 25. It's a first down run for Cedar Falls.
Yeah, I really like the call. If you watch what West has done, they only have 6 guys in the box. So we got a
might be coming
flag.
back.
I had a post in my view, didn't see it. Got a hold. 3 of them on the Tigers.
So that negates the long run by Gavin Steggy, and Cedar Falls heading backwards. Deep in their own territory, 6:50 shows on the clock remaining in the ball game. Waterloo West scored first, the 4:09 mark of the first quarter. They missed the 2-point conversion. Cedar Falls responded quickly at the 2:13 mark of the first quarter. They score on a 2-yard run from Jacob Keeler. The extra point good, 7-6. Midway through the second quarter, the Tigers scored on a 14-yard pass. Gavin Steggy to Dallas Bayer. Extra point good, 14-6. That was our score at halftime. Waterloo West has done all the scoring in the second half. Alex Willis, a 14-yard touchdown pass to Therese Smith. And then Willis to Josh Willis for the 2-point conversion.
Well, you got 2 guys that move.
Look like
defensive lineman. They're going to call on the defensive lineman.
Jesse
so
Hartley.
Just a matter of who they were going to call first. Was it? Well, let's watch this. Yeah, that might have been a break for the Tigers. I think Buskol, you watch him, he realizes that maybe he's the guy that moved first.
Now it's 1st and 11. Steggy across the field, and this time it's caught, hauled in. Or they are going to say he made the catch. Ball came out at the end of the play.
Morgan Hendrickson on the catch. He's up a really manageable second down now.
Stops the clock, 6:45 to go. Morgan Hendrickson, 5'9", 150 pounds. Takes the ball up to the 20-yard line. A big offensive line for the Cedar Falls Tigers. Has not been able to wear down Waterloo West, as we thought might happen with that big size they have. Direct snap, and Steggy running. Steggy across the 25, 30, and angled out of bounds. Another first down run.
Again, it's just a simple numbers game. West is only putting really 5.5 guys in the box. They just seal that side, pin them outside, and
let's come to that point in the game. After every play, I'm looking on the field for a penalty. It's another hold against Cedar Falls. It must have been one of the wide receivers, because the flag down near midfield. So they should allow the run for a first down. I'll see where they're going to mark the football. Put the ball at the 28-yard line.
So a 2nd and 2.
Okay.
Second down, Tigers.
Well, I just mentioned it's been a well-officiated game. Luke Becker might disagree with that over the last few minutes.
6:29 remaining in this one. Looking right, Steggy pump fake. Now he's going to go for the home run ball into traffic and off the hands, incomplete.
Yeah.
Dallas Bayer quit running and the route.
Yep, just a poor read on part of Steggy. He decided he was going to Bayer. He actually had the snake route on the outside. He decided to come back inside to Bayer, and you can see that down the outside, and I think that was Hendrickson who was wide open. There's nobody there. And he already made the decision. He'll see it on film, make the correction next week.
Jeremiah Rucker. Chance for the pick there. 3rd down and a couple. Direct snap, and Steggy's going to run with it. He will pick up the first down. Gets down the far sidelines. Out of bounds near the 40-yard line. First down run.
For anybody who wants to criticize Steggy for going out of bounds, that is absolutely the right call. You get your quarterback, you get him out of bounds. You don't want those guys playing tough guy. You get out of bounds, and then you go back and you take the next snap. Different story if he's got to pick up another yard, but he already had the first down.
Stops the clock. A lot of time still remaining. 6 minutes, 12 seconds to go. Tied at 14 here in the fourth quarter. Steggy, pump fake. Steggy is going to air it deep. Underthrows it, and coming back and trying to make the sliding catch was Carter Sloatman. Incomplete.
Yeah, he just lost that one. That ball never left his hand very well. You can see it. He pumps outside, and that one just came funky off his hand. Sloatman had the outside seam wide open.
2nd down and 10.
Steggy may be holding on to that just a touch long. Get rid of it a little earlier.
This drive started after Cedar Falls was able to stop Waterloo West on downs. How about the 14-yard line? Fake the pass. Steggy's going to run. Gets a block. And we'll pick up 6, maybe 7 yards. A little spin move right there at the end before he goes out of bounds.
You see what West's defensive plan is here. They've decided Dallas Bear is not going to be the guy that beats them. They have a corner over there. They got a safety over the top.
3rd down, 3 yards coming up for Cedar Falls as they've marched the ball now to the 46-yard line.
Suppose Steggy's just going to take this off the right side. Yep.
Steggy, 1st down and more. Still on his feet down the sidelines and taken out of bounds late. Right about the 34-yard line.
Well, Luke Becker's found something here, and he's just sticking with the formula.
Gain of 18 yards on the play by quarterback Gavin Steggy.
It's almost like a zone play for the quarterback. Just doubling the guys up front. Follow your running back. Find space and run. That's football 101.
5 minutes, 52 seconds remain in the game. Cedar Falls still has all 3 timeouts remaining. Waterloo West with 2 timeouts to go. So Cedar Falls. Steggy, he's under pressure and he's hit, and it's a sack. Big play for the Wallhawks is coming up with the tackle, Taylor Dean.
Yeah, you look at what's going on down there. There's 3 guys around Dallas Bear, and you just got to use that to your advantage. See, he wanted to go there, and you just got to recognize the defense. That's never going to happen. So you got to look Bear's way, keep the defense over there, and then find space somewhere else.
It's the first sack of the game for the Wallhawks. Taylor Dean with the blindside hit. 2nd down and 14, 4-yard loss. Steggy looks left, slant in, caught by Russell, and Russell carries the tackler close to the 1st down marker.
That's well done. That's in rhythm. Much better throw here. Sets the feet, steps into it. That's nice. Yep.
Ben Russell, big catch. 3rd down, less than a yard to go for the Tigers. Under 5 minutes to play. 4 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in a tense one here at Memorial Stadium. And Steggy trying to run the ball to the right, has to cut back the other way, picks up the 1st down to the middle of the field, right to the 18-yard line. Waterloo West, I thought they had a chance.
Steggy wants a timeout. I think he's really winded. He's calling over and asking. Or hand it off. Yeah.
They might let some time eat off the clock here before they call it.
They very well could. Luke Becker
12 seconds showing the play clock
out on
here.
the field. He may just told the referee, hey, when we get down there, we'll call timeout.
Now we're at play clock at 3-2, and there's the timeout with 4:27 remaining in the game. There you see the Tigers in the red zone. But it's been a long time-consuming drive here, mostly on the feet of the quarterback, Gavin Steggy. Who's Cedar Falls marching down the field methodically, but now they have to finish it off. It's 14-14 tie. Both teams coming in 1-0 on the season. And ask Coach Harbaugh, you know, what does the rivalry mean to the players? And he says, oh, man, this is the year. This is year in and year out, one of the biggest games of the year for our kids. There's just a different level of intensity and focus to practice and preparation for Cedar Falls. We're excited to get out and test ourselves against a program that is always elite. It's about bragging rights for the next year.
I love the honesty on his part, and it's clear that they have prepared well. They've battled, they've been able to force some turnovers and make plays and hang right in here, and it's good, very good football game.
And Coach Harbaugh in his 4th year, Coach Luke Becker for Cedar Falls in his 2nd year. He was previously the freshman coach.
A lot of times you'll hear coaches say, "Oh, it's just another game on the schedule," and everybody knows differently.
Rivalry games are something special about them. And so there's a good look at the Waterloo West sidelines. There's Coach Becker with the mask on, and Coach Harbaugh. For the Wallhawks, his assistant is Whit Harberts. Cedar Falls assistants for Luke Becker, Jay Tepley, Daniel Martinson. So we have a pivotal point in the ball game. Under 4 minutes and 27 seconds to play in this one. Tigers have driven down the field and now at the Waterloo West 18-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up.
One of the longest timeouts I've ever seen. We had a lot to talk about there.
That was a halftime show type timeout. Now we're ready to go. Gavin Steggy better be rested after that long break. Here we go.
Oh, this is Steggy going to be running again. This is the quarterback counter.
Huge hole for Steggy, following his blockers and takes it to inside the 10-yard line. Just short of the first down. And player getting up slowly for Waterloo West. I think we got a cramp on one of the Wallhawks as they're trying to stretch it out.
Sure is.
So a fun game here at Memorial Stadium in this sophomore contest. This game being brought to you by a lot of great people, including Witham Auto Center. Everything we do is driven by you. Located on South Main Street in Cedar Falls with additional locations in Waterloo and LaPorte City. Witham Auto Center is a proud supporter of the Cedar Falls Tigers. Find your next vehicle in person or online at withamauto.com. So the varsity game is scheduled to start in about a half hour from now. I'm going to safely say that's not going to happen, as they're stretching out the leg, and that looks like Taylor Dean, who got a sack a couple plays ago, and now he's going to have to come out. Trying to walk that off.
Yeah, he's played a nice game too.
So we see some good young players for both teams. For the Wallhawks, been impressed with Kyle Elliott, Dylan Lang. And on defense, I thought the Kyle Elliott as well. And Therese Smith is.
Yeah, Therese Smith has had a nice game.
2nd down and 1. Waterloo West coaching staff desperately calling somebody to come back. Oh, it's a fumble on the snap. On the shotgun snap, and Steggy pounces on it, but they'll lose a couple yards, and now it's a long 3rd down coming up for the Tigers.
Tigers are going right back to the well. They're running that. They're going to run that down. That was a little quarterback trap inside.
So it was a low snap. Now look, it's a 3rd down and 4 coming up. Ball goes back to the 12-yard line. 3 minutes, 41 seconds remaining in the game. Huge play. Steggy is going to throw a little cross, slant in, and it's deflected almost.
Guess who?
Oh.
10 and 4.
Oh.
I guess it
was not.
4th down Tigers.
It was, did I read that number, 39?
39, somebody that we do not have on our roster.
That ball deflected and incomplete. 4th down coming up. Now Derek Woods is the kicker for the Tigers. Will they try a field goal? This would be about a 28-yarder. And I don't see that. They're going to go for it here. 4th down, 4 yards to go. Ball spotted at the 12, 3:33 remaining.
You still got the quarterback.
And rolling to his right. And Steggy throws it way over the head. The intended target, Dallas Bear. The pressure was on Steggy, and it's incomplete. Waterloo West.
Yeah, that's 2nd and 1. There's, in just golden position at 2nd and 1. You got the drop snap and a couple of incompletes after that, and Steggy's not going to be happy. And he's a tired young man over there.
Watch the play. Again, there was a lot of pressure on him. Hartley there with 74. They were trying to find Dallas Bear.
That's frustrating for a receiver. Don't even get a chance to try to make the play.
And now, with 2 timeouts, 3:27 to go in the game, here come the Wallhawks. Quick pass. Oh, intended for Smith, but thrown underneath, and he cannot come up with the basket catch and incomplete.
Well, West has to be a little careful here about leaving too much time for the Tigers. The last thing you want to do is have 3 incompletes and out. All of a sudden, Cedar Falls is going to get the ball in decent field position with 3 minutes plus, and they could run anything they want.
2nd down and 10. Last time West won. How about 2014, 28-21? Alex Willis looking over the middle. Therese Smith makes the catch for a first down at the 28.
Well, we've seen it time and time again. West continues to exploit those seams.
Smith shaken up. Watch him just float it over
watch
the middle.
It. Smith with a free release right down the field. You got to get your hands on him. That's not a suggestion. It's mandatory.
Watch the lob, and trying to see where an injury may occur. It looks like it's cramps on Therese Smith. They're stretching out his right leg. 3 minutes, 20 seconds to go. And now getting out of a hole is Waterloo West. As they have now some breathing room. They're back to their own end zone. Our broadcast being brought to you here on Cedar Falls Community Television by CFU Cable. CFU Cable and Channel 15, your home for Cedar Falls Tigers sports in Cedar Falls. Now, coverage of this event is made possible by CFU Cable subscribers. Without your support of CFU Cable TV, this broadcast would not happen, and local TV coverage would not be possible. Cedar Falls Channel 15 is available on Basic or Basic Plus cable TV plans. For more information, go to cfu.net. Therese Smith is okay. And here comes Waterloo West and carrying the football. Elliott
A little loosely.
fighting hard for about 4 yards. Correction, that's Taylor Dean, the ball carrier.
2nd down West.
2nd down and 5. Time becoming a factor. 3 minutes remaining. Tied at 14. Cedar Falls led 14-6 at halftime. And now the Wallhawks trying to
go to the concession end of the field.
second heroics. Willis working out of the shotgun. Rolls to his left. Lobs it over the middle. Intercepted, and here come the Tigers. Cedar Falls coming back the other way. And with the football is Ben Russell, and down around the Waterloo West 42-yard line.
Well, they went into the seam one too many times. Oh, watch, he did not look off. It's the difference. Earlier in the game, you saw him pump one way, look off. This time it took Ben right to the football. Wisely just got down there, maintained possession.
2.5 minutes remaining. And Cedar Falls has a 1st and 10 at the Wallhawks 41-yard line. Second interception thrown by Waterloo West in the sophomore game.
Yeah, trying to fit that ball in between 3 guys.
Tigers a little bit late getting the right personnel in. Back to pass, pumping it, now throwing over the middle, and it's going to be caught by Josh Hansen. Hansen looking for a block, trying to turn the corner, will grab the first down, gets out of bounds, stops the clock with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go.
Really nice run after catch for Josh. He's listed as a tight end, but he's really just another wide receiver in this offense. They don't use a tight end. Nice job of Woods of staying off the back, putting the hands up. Sir, I did not touch anyone. There's a good picture of Josh.
It's a first down reception.
This is where you don't mind bleeding clock. You'd love to be able to keep this on the ground, keep the clock churning.
Steggy will run it. Steggy has a big run. Steggy still on his feet inside the 10, the 5. Give him 6.
Tiger touchdown.
Gavin Steggy with an exciting run from 27 yards out, and Cedar Falls takes the lead with just 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining.
Now for Cedar Falls, this is exactly the opposite of last week. They couldn't get the run going at all, and tonight it's been the past that they've really had a difficult time with. West has decided they're not going to allow that big play, but what it has done is allowed Steggy to have a huge second half on the ground.
Now an important extra point coming up. Derek Woods is the kicker. Appears to be good. The referees say it is 21-14. Gavin Steggy with the touchdown run of 27 yards. It looked like they had him right there, and he just shakes off a tackle. Is unable to bring him down was Andrew Klein, and touchdown for Cedar Falls. Watch it again.
It's the
big fourth quarter for Steggy.
He's tired.
He was frustrated when the Tigers failed to score last time.
Gavin's a nice young. Oh, excuse me. Gavin's a nice kid. I have him in class right now. He's a really respectful kid. Kind of keeps to himself.
Well, that all set up by the interception made by Ben Russell. So it's a drive that goes 41 yards, only takes a couple of plays. And now Cedar Falls in good shape here with the 7-point lead late.
Number 1 on the sidelines, Dallas Bear. He has not had a big game. At least it doesn't appear as though he has. He has really, with his presence, allowed the Tigers to run the football.
Perez Smith takes the ball to the 28. Now it's time for the 2-minute offense for the Wallhawks. As Perez Smith, again, appears to be cramping up here. He's been playing both offense and defense, and body shaken up after that return. Looks like the Cedar Falls trainer, Pete Hansen, coming out to take a look at him. You're talking about Pete earlier, about how glad you are to see him back.
Yeah, Pete had Pete Waters, Cedar Falls longtime trainer, had a heart attack in February. And obviously everybody was very concerned about his condition, and so he's one guy that we love to see back on the field. He's such a huge part of Tiger athletics, and just a great guy to have around. You couldn't ask for anything more. Puts in extraordinary amount of time in the Cedar Falls athletic realm. You know, just travels to all these away games, and you know, just an awesome guy to work with.
I would imagine he has tutored dozens and dozens of trainers over the year, from you and I with that great athletic training department they have.
Yeah.
See a lot of college kids at Cedar Falls games throughout the course of the year.
Yep, as well as Cedar Falls high school kids who think about going into that as well. And he welcomes them all in, and you know, and as you mentioned, the tutor is right. I mean, in his training room, he, you know, lets those people work on him as he oversees them, and he's, you know, he does everything the right way. Upbeat, positive guy, really fun to be around.
1st and 10, and Alex Willis going deep. He had a receiver, but it's underthrown and intercepted. Josh Willis. That should seal this game with 1:58 remaining.
Well, West has 2 timeouts left, so the Tigers need to get a first down. If they can do that.
Now the 3rd turnover of the game for Waterloo West.
Just a little late on the throw. He had the receiver.
And the Tigers had the ball at their own 45-yard line. So probably a first down away from sealing this game. Big play defensively by Derek Woods. He's had a big game. He's caught passes, kicked 3 extra points. And now this pick late. Over the shoulder catch. Nicely done.
I'm going to just guess that we see the ball in the hands of Steggy a lot here. There's quarterback counter once again.
Steggy just middle of the field to the 50. A timeout taken by Waterloo West.
Football cheerleader.
Minute 52 remaining in the game.
So Eric Hobba decides to use the timeouts on first and second. We always like to use them on second and third. You know, you might catch a team that decides not to run down the clock on first down.
Yeah.
You know, or excuse me, after first down, and then you can gain 10 or 15 seconds. Different strategy employed by West coaching staff.
See the blue oval around the football field here at Memorial Stadium. Something cool I hadn't seen. They had put up some big pictures of Waterloo players who had gone into the professional ranks.
I hadn't seen that, but
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say was they had also taken some pictures of their seniors up along the fence, and they're really cool. They're doing a nice job of honoring the seniors, both football players and their cheerleaders.
They had J.J. Moses. Reggie Roby comes to mind. Those were the guys I know of. The others
Sure.
a little bit before my time. Second down and 5. But there was a total of about 6 players that were
There's just a
big photos.
tremendously proud athletic tradition in this city.
So Waterloo West down to 1 timeout remaining. Tigers lead 21-14. Minute 52 to go in this sophomore game.
Tigers trying to create some space. Surprised West is still manning up on the trips like they have. Now they've just faked that's the case. And Buskell close to the first down.
Buskell just kind of lost his
Buskell
footing.
Tiger number 55.
Just short of the first down. Third down and 1. So while Hawks still have a chance here, they spend their final timeout, hoping they can stop the Tigers here on third down and get one more possession.
Come out West.
I think the turnovers are even now, aren't they, Mark? 4 apiece,
No,
if I'm not mistaken.
I have 4-3.
4-3.
So I missed one. 3 interceptions for Waterloo West. The Tigers
Just 3, okay.
with an interception and 3 fumbles. And, well-played game, as you'd expect. The intensity level has been there between these 2 longtime rivals. Looks like Cedar Falls is going to continue that streak. Last time Waterloo West won was back in 2014.
Well, the continuity that Lonnie Moore has provided at the helm of this program, you know, it's just West expects to win now. And I just have a great amount of respect for Lonnie. I like him personally and as a coach. But this is what West needed.
Yeah, it's a first down run. Correct snap, and quarterback Gavin Steggy should seal the deal there. With a minute 44 to go, Waterloo West is out of timeouts.
The Tigers can now just take a knee
First down, Tiger.
and be happy about a win. Good job by Steggy there covering it up.
So this will improve the Tigers' record, barring disaster, to 2-0 on the year, as Cedar Falls will have a road trip next week at Cedar Rapids Prairie. There's Coach Luke Becker talking to his team, making sure they're in the proper positions.
Yeah, victory formation. We always talk about this. It's our favorite formation.
And going to one knee after getting the snap. Gavin Steggy with 1 minute and 7 seconds and ticking away. So West took a 6-0 lead. Tigers led 14-6 at halftime. It was 14-14 to late in the game until 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Gavin Steggy going in from 27 yards out. Tigers still in victory formation. Will snap the ball. This should be the last play of the game here. Good game by this sophomore teams. Like the COVID-19, you can't really shake hands. We see some of the players doing so anyhow, hugging and shaking.
Oh, they just got done blocking and tackling each other.
Good respect. I like it. It's a good, intense rivalry, but it never gets chippy. I like that between these teams. And final seconds will tick off, and Cedar Falls goes to 2-0 as they come away with a hard-fought win on the road here at Memorial Stadium over Waterloo West. Final score, 21-14. Respect for both teams. Raising the helmets and the waves by both teams. They don't have the handshakes now because of the usually that line of players shaking hands after the game due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So Tigers win an exciting game, Jeremiah, 21-14.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was entertaining and nice to see the Tigers pull one out against an improved West program.
All right, so Cedar Falls 2-0, Waterloo West 1-1. Hope you enjoyed our coverage of this sophomore game from Memorial Stadium. For Jeremiah Longnecker and the rest of our very talented Cedar Falls Community Television crew, I'm Mark Simpson. You've been watching Tiger Football on CFTV.
Thanks for watching the Tigers on Cedar Falls Utilities, Channel 15.
The middle, Ostrich is free. Give him 6.
We're thankful for customers who choose CFU Cable TV. It's because of you that we can produce high-quality local high school sports.
Oh, what a catch. Wow. Trey Campbell.
This year we know it's especially important to have high school games on TV and online. Because of community support, we're able to provide a full slate of high school sports.
In the open, gets past the defense, and he takes it all the way.
So thanks for being a CFU TV customer, and go Tigers.